Phoenix, where we learn how to transform the way we live with eczema. My name is Terry, and today I'm talking about having sex with eczema. A lot of people don't think it's possible, but it really is. And I'm going to share a few tips that I have used in my own personal life that help me enjoy it a little bit more. When it comes to the starting point, I really recommend being hygienic and showering before and afterwards. At least afterwards, because of the aftermath. And I find that if I don't shower or at least rinse in my downstairs area, that it can be very itchy because of all the sweating and the heat, creating this humid environment, which can make certain types of rashes much more prevalent in your private area. So I like to use Dr. Bronner's peppermint soap for this because it's super cooling and super drying. That might be too drying for some people with eczema, so some other soaps that he carries that would be more gentle would be the tea tree or the eucalyptus versions as well. They'll cool you down without drying you out as much as the peppermint one, but if you get pretty humid down there, the peppermint one will work very quickly to just cool you off and dry you off as well. If I have like a rash down there, I tend to find that balms are very helpful for helping it to stay protected and recover, and I really like Province Apothecary's balm. Wellness Mama also has a homemade lotion recipe that, in my opinion, is actually more of a salve because it's completely oil-based and there's no water. And I use that as sort of like a baseline to make my own salves and balms, and I'll just like adjust the amount of beeswax per oil content depending on how easy I want the balm or salve to melt upon contact with my skin. There's that. In terms of aftercare, I usually won't be in the mood to do it if I have open, bleeding, and oozing wounds because you just don't know what direction you're going to go in, and if you bend a ligament in a certain direction and there's like a rash right there that's like in the process of healing, it might crack open again, and that would really hurt and really make intimacy not worth it for that night. And if I have any wounds or rashes, that they're all kind of dried and closed up and scabbing so that they're protected, or you can bandage yourself up or do some wraps, have a balm or whatever healing ointment that you use. Just close everything up just so things don't crack open again, and you restart the healing process for that area. And your partner should be very understanding and open to that. I've never had anyone protest me not wanting to do certain things because I was going through a flare-up. I've been lucky to have very understanding people. Hopefully so do you, but if you don't, then that person needs to get out the door or get it together and respect your boundaries, because that's really important to enjoying sex and intimacy with someone, is to have the respect and to feel safe with them. So make sure that is intact. In terms of bed sheets, blankets, linens in general, I find that cotton is the most soothing and cooling. It's the most breathable fabric, but satin can also work too. It's pretty smooth, and there's no, it's kind of slippery, but it's also, because of how slippery it is, it's also very smooth, and you won't have to worry about, catching on anything and having a lot of friction with the fabrics or the linens. So that'll be much more calming for your skin. I haven't tried this yet, but just talking about this now, I'm thinking if you're going through like a hot flare-up, but you still want to kind of like get it on, but you want to be like have some soothing going on as well, then maybe you could like run a fan at like a certain speed, and that could kind of keep you cooled down. Like maybe it could just be mostly directed to you and not so much, like if you're with a man, I don't know how that would affect his performance. That, I don't know, that might not work. Maybe you could just like focus it on like your heads and your neck area. But that could be another way to avoid getting too humid and itchy. And if you're feeling uncomfortable in a certain position, feel free to like mix it up and like move around. Just no matter where anyone is at in the process, that should be something that should be comfortable with everyone. If you have any problem areas, be sure to be upfront about that and let your partner know so that they're not aggravating anything and you both can enjoy each other a bit more. There's a previous eczema in love video that I had done a while back, and I had mentioned a DIY soothing spray that you can make. Put the ingredients and information down below so you can find out where to get them and make them, but it's pretty much like 20 to 30 drops of tea tree oil and maybe 5 to 20 drops of peppermint oil, depending on how strong you like it, in 4 ounces of filtered aloe juice in a 4-ounce spray bottle, and any areas that are sweaty and oozy and itchy will be immediately be soothed by a spray or 2 of this spray. I've used it many times and it is very soothing. I even use it on my face, but just avoid the eye area because tea tree and peppermint can be quite volatile, and the minty, like the cool minty spicy feeling, can be a little irritating to the eye area. I also mentioned some other tips and things to think about in my communication with eczema video on lovers, so I'll also leave a link here and here for you to check it out if you'd like to see other things that I have to say about this topic. Something else I'd like to say about having sex with eczema is that if you're with somebody and you've been upfront, like I suggested in my previous communication with eczema video on like lovers and the dating process and the first date, just being upfront with all of it, know that they logically should know it, so they should be not surprised if anything is going on. It will be normal for them to show concern, to want to help. I have found in my experience that it's not that big a deal, and I've often felt somewhat insecure about my body in bed because of different things going on with it, or having a neck flare or face flare or something like that. But it never stopped someone from being with me and they would still kiss me on my lips, and sometimes they still kiss my neck, like in a comforting way, like, oh, like the way almost like a mom kisses her kid's boo-boo or injury to want it to feel better. I've actually had that experience quite regularly in my dating life, which I'm grateful for. I don't know if that's a regular thing or if I'm just really, really ridiculously lucky. Could be all of the above. If you're with somebody, if you're with a partner and they've chosen to be with you and they are aware that you have eczema, you've told them that you have rashes, they will probably still want to be with you and do the deed and enjoy it. And I think having the kind of attitude of being open to this working and it being pleasurable for everybody is great. There's no need for you to do more than you feel like. In the past, I sometimes have felt that way, like, oh, maybe I should just do a bit more for him because he's dealing with this. Like, I just totally projected my insecurities of, oh, I just like have all these ugly rashes that he has to look at and deal with, and he's probably holding back. He's discussed just to spare my feelings, and that was never the case. And if anything, the partners I've been with have been very caring and concerned and considerate. Still call me beautiful, still were with me in bed, and definitely enjoyed ourselves. Everything's possible. But let me know if there's any other videos you'd like me to make, whether around this or other things in terms of living with eczema. I'd be happy to answer and share what I know as much as possible. And I hope that this video has been helpful for you. And yeah, just know that sex with eczema is very possible. Enjoy, and I'll see you next time.